Thank you. So, just from a referee perspective, what's a good game going to look like for you today?
What's a good game going to look like? 30 blokes coming off the park saying that was a great game, I've enjoyed it, and the coaches as well.
Yeah.
So, and that's for me to disappear into the background and not be noticed as such. Just blow the whistle when I need to blow.
Right. What's the things that could detract from that during the game?
Discipline, I think. If they're not singing on the same page as I told them before at the pre-talk, so if they're not doing what we've had the pre-talk about, and then that could detract from the game, then I've got to change my game plan for myself to bring that back into life.
So you talk about the players not doing what you would want, and talking to them pre-match. During the game, how could you change things?
It's a very difficult question to say before the game kicks off, isn't it? That's probably a better answer after the game. If it doesn't go well, then to talk about and what we did differently.
Nah, it should be it.
Have you got any tools that you might use if you see it in the game? So what can you bring out of your toolkit?
Some yellow and red cards.
Anything before that?
We got penalties and free kicks. Talking to the guys, better to talk to them and try and get them on the page than not. Usually they're pretty good, and schoolboys, they want to please rather than not.
What are the triggers that indicate you might need to go to something more than what you have already said to them?
If they're not listening, and there's plenty of penalties, if we've had 5 or 6 penalties in a row, that's probably too many. But I'm widening the scope, so then you've probably got to deal with it. First of all,
I like your gut feel.
At 3 penalties, I'm talking to the captain. 4th, 5th penalty, then someone's getting a card.
Does it matter where those penalties are in the field?
No, not really. No.
Just from a personal reality, taking the players out of perspective, are there any things that may affect your performance?
Yeah, my egg and toast I had earlier. No, mate, no, not really. Just working on fitness, and that's still a work on.
Yeah, I mean it is a big thing, you know, like things aren't going so well at home, or and you sort of bring it to the game.
Yeah, and I think
that happens to everyone.
I think that was a thing last week. The game was off, the game was on, and when I wrote that in the report, in my grow report, that didn't put me in a good headspace for the game, and I didn't get into the game until the second half last week. So I'm not bringing anything clear this week, I don't think. So hopefully we should be.
So you're ready for any uncontrollables like what happened last week? So you've got some tools. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's 20 past 10.
Enjoy it. If you need to come and see us at half time for anything, I'm quite bright. But we won't come and find you unless you need to see us.
For you to come on at half time.
We don't need to unless you feel it's necessary. But we'll let you get on with it. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ben.
Oh, thank you.
Right, good morning, Pete. How are you this morning?
Good. How are you?
Great. I'm great, thank you. How's your morning been?
Fantastic. Got the kids out the way, palm them off. It's all go.
So you're here nice and early to get ready for your game. Okay, talk to me about the things that you want to work on your grow model today.
So the grow model is basically getting around the paddock, reading the game, and position-wise getting to the breakdown and identifying the first infringement, not the second or third. So it's those running lines, getting to where I need to be to control the game from there, and then obviously from then reading what the players are trying to achieve and what they're doing.
Cool. Could you just unpack a little bit more what reading of the game means, just for me to think a little bit more about what I'm looking for?
So identifying probably early whether teams are trying to play a wide game, so if that would affect where I position myself, or if they're going to have a pick and go, hit out first, so that then I'd have to be in a little bit closer to the rucks and mauls. So those sort of things. Watching the halfback's movement too, identifying where he's positioning himself to where I need to want to be going.
Right, so you're going to read what's in front of you rather than have preconceived ideas.
Correct.
Cool. So limited scrum resets, just unpack that a little bit more for me. What does that mean for you?
Setting my standards early, so the very first scrum will be quite a slow scrum. get people in the right positions, right body height, halfbacks in the right position, just laying that platform, and also that involves my pre-match, and then setting that standard, and let's hope we carry that through the whole game. Ball in, ball out, so I'm not resetting. Just speeds up the game and makes the game.
So what have you got in your toolkit that you can use if you feel that they're not listening to you and there's more than you're wanting in the way of scrumming resets?
So the pre-match is going to be the big one first, so my voice, and the first scrum. After that there'll be a little bit of leniency, then obviously the whistle will come out to get the message across that, you know, we've got to go back to my pre-match, this is how I want it. And using positive reinforcement too. So we get a nice good scrum. 8 guys, that last scrum was fantastic, that's what we need for
I really like that, giving them the positive. Yeah. So anything else from you that you want to share with me?
No, just like I say, if you see anything out of the ordinary too that you think I can improve on, I'm happy for that critical view at the end of the game saying, this was great, Pete, but maybe one thing we might want to look at is happy with that too.
Right, as we talked about before, if you want some reassurance or a question at the half time,
yeah,
know where to find me, but I'm not going to come in and see you because I don't think you need it. You can self-reflect yourself. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. And like I say, I'll come across anyway.
Well, all the best for it.
Awesome. I look forward to it. And
yeah,
thanks for
me
your
too.
time coming down.
Oh no, I'm really excited by it.
It's quite cool because I've had a grow similar to this one here from another referee coach. Yes. So I thought I'll grab this one out, bring it to a first 15 game, and compare the two. So,
well, cool. You're excited about this game, aren't you? And so you should be.
Yeah, very.
Yeah. So how do you just control that excitement?
Oh, you get it out of the way now, and
yeah.
Like I say, like I said, an hour out from my game, I like to get into that mojo, watch a bit of rugby.
So Pete, just in conclusion, what will a good game look like from you, from a refereeing perspective?
I'm pretty critical on my penalty count. That's a good outcome. If I'm knocking over 20 penalties in the game, I'm looking at myself and the influence I've had on the game. I consider that as a big part of my game. I average 16 penalties in a game. So if that's blowing out, that's a key trigger in my head. I might need to change the way I'm refereeing or the way I'm looking at something. So yeah, low penalty count and movement. The guys having fun, not a lot of back chat to me because they're getting on with it and having fun out there and not focusing on me.
So for a novice at the game, when do you find out your penalty count?
Oh look, I keep a trigger in my head, to be honest. I'm pretty wary if I'm blowing the whistle hard. The trigger sets in that it's why am I blowing so hard? Am I missing something? Are the players and me not on the same page? So that's
hell, in netball we can have 70 penalties
I know,
a game.
yeah, I know.
And they don't know that till afterwards.
Yeah, look, and I'm lucky too because I've had good sideline managers that have counted up penalties for me. I normally ask my sideline manager or a coach, hey, can you keep the penalty tally for me?
That's a good idea.
Just at the end of the game, I can see where it sits and if it's been lopsided. And I've been lucky in that sense this year. So it's really cool.
It's a process for the referees at the half time, and of course you don't have people that are going to walk with you.
No. That's right, so I walked over and exercised.
Oh, you need some more
I
exercise?
need some more exercise, yeah.
You got any hydration?
No, I'm
Okay.
So what's the good things that have been happening for yourself?
Scrums are good. It's been like that for a few weeks now, which is really good. Positives that the players are listening, which I wanted. And they're buying into what I want. Backs are staying back. I've made number 10, both number 10s responsible for the backs. If they're in front, they're getting penalised through. And they've lost 2 penalties apiece through that.
So what's the things that not so good? You know,
not
could
so
be done better.
There's not a lot that I can tell in the game at the moment, Pete, to be fair. Everything I put on the grill I'm doing at the minute, I believe. But hey, it could change this off. We'll see.
Okay.
So let's see how we get.
Just one of your work-ons was the offside back lines.
Yeah.
How do you think you're going?
No, I think that's good at the moment. I think that's really good. I'm dropping in, finding it, dropping into D, checking the guys, throwing back foot. It's really working for me at the moment. So,
as far as
I'm trying to keep that up.
As far as the jockey position, what does that look like for you?
Oh, that's my fallback position if I'm out of position, to drop back in and just to reset and get comfortable for me, and then move back into where I need to be. So it's working at the moment. Well, I think it's working. You can tell me after.
Notice some good on your toes. Do you feel that?
Yeah, no, and that was one of the work-ons this week. Stay on my toes.
Are there any times where you feel maybe it didn't quite happen? Do you actually feel it?
No, not really.
Okay,
Not today.
Okay.
They have in the past.
Good.
So I'm feeling a little bit fitter today, probably. That's what I told my coach that I was working on. But excuse me,
Okay,
I'll
we'll
get
let you
these
go.
guys
Yeah.
back into it.
Hey, Joe, how you doing, mate? Good. Hey, I've got your work-ons. Thanks for that. Actually, just from a perspective of today, what do you think a good game will look like for you as a referee? What do you want to achieve out of all this?
So basically what I want to achieve is just all I'm looking for today is just obviously keeping players safe. So mainly my concern obviously is for the front rows, just to make sure that they are safe first and foremost, setting a platform for the scrums, and obviously just working on the stuff that previous coaches have given me, just in regard to the secondary signals, run to goal line, just making sure that players are on side, doing what they're supposed to as well. But also enjoying the game, making sure they can enjoy the game as well.
So just in respect to those work-ons, you mentioned secondary signals. Can you just unpack that a little bit more? What does that look like, and what's a good outcome from there?
So yeah, just obviously I've looked at the primary signals. So my primary signals is obviously strong primary signals. I whistle most of them out. Then obviously letting the crowd know why. Letting them know what the penalty is for. So basically just making sure that onlookers have got a clear picture of what the penalty was, and that's giving them the signal, whether it's off your feet, just simple things like that. Yeah. So, and it just sort of gives the crowd an indication so they know exactly why you penalised them. Also getting the number that was involved in that penalty. You're offside.
Right, okay. So in respect to the field, you talked about bum to goal line. So looking at this field here, how should we be seeing you? If you were refereeing on this field now, bum to goal line, what does it look like?
So obviously it's making sure my primary goal is to keep players on side at the breakdown. So I'm looking north to south. So I'm looking here. I'm keeping guys on side. So that's what we do. And even when I turn, there again, looking south.
So from a coaching perspective, this is me. I shouldn't be seeing your bum.
Correct. The only time you'll probably see my bum is when I'm running across, going in, and then I turn.
Or you're at a scrum.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's all I've got for you, Joe, really. Have you got any questions you want to ask me, or you want me to look for? You've got the work-ons.
All I guess for me is if there's anything that's going to help me right now, don't be afraid to come forward and say, hey, this might be able to help you out better with this or whatever. But more than open to any discussion in regard to helping my game improve. So that's basically it.
Well, Joe, all the best today. Thank you for being a rugby volunteer. Looking forward to it today.
15-6.
Thanks, Scott. Okay.
Well, I'd asked the captain 4 times in total to sort his good players out. He didn't. So that last run, that had to be a card. I was asking him enough times. And I just went to Emily and he said, no, it was coming. It was right. So he's got no argument.
Okay, so when you think about your original work-ons or goals for the game, how do you got on?
I think initially when I came on for half time, they were good. I think they slipped a little bit second half, and that's not down to me. I think the players were getting tired and they'd stopped listening a little bit more.
Okay.
So we had to change the game plan slightly. Probably play a little bit more advantage rather than blow the whistle. Because the players being tired.
Good self-reflection that changed and you had to adjust.
Yeah.
So, as far as those things that didn't go so well in the second half, what do you think you could do differently next week? The same things that happened?
Probably the same. You know, try and play a little bit more advantage rather than blow the whistle every 5 minutes. Players are getting tired. Not a lot you can do. Players getting tired. Your own reflection, if you're getting tired and not getting to the breakdown or whatever, that's different. You're on fit. And I don't think I was doing that, but I think just the players were tired. And it's very hard to manage tired players because they stop listening.
Where in particular were they getting tired on the field? Was it in the back play? Was it breakdown?
I noticed them a bit lazy towards the end, especially in the scrums, because they stopped leaving that gap. And then in the rocks, it was getting messy, so it was getting very hard to manage a clean ball from the rock, which was great early on, because they were doing the job and they were listening, and then it was deciding to get.
So did you have to change your position to reflect that?
Yeah, I think I did. I had to find it and probably not step away so much, come closer and control it a little bit better.
Yeah. And did you have to change your communication at all during that?
I think I had to change my communication with the captain, because the captain was starting to get offside, so I had to change my tact with the captain. And say, yeah, I understand your concerns, I can see them, I'll deal with them as I see them. If I don't see them, I can't give them. And that pleased him, and he was okay going back to play. So, and that was a few times I had to do that.
So I don't want to hold you, but I just want to say that I thought you did a really good job managing the game and managing the players, working with captains. Your whole thing there was really well done.
I like that you came off and wanted to talk about that last yellow card. Just to reflect on that, what was it for? What did you give the yellow card for?
Off his feet at the rook. There was multiple times I could have given a card, but I was hoping the captain would step up and sort that out.
Yep.
But he didn't do that. And the last conversation I had with him about 5 minutes before was that the next one's got to be a card.
Were you aware that just before the end of the game? Or?
Oh, I knew how close it was.
Okay.
And I was doing my best not to give a card, but it had to happen because at the end of the day,
you didn't have a problem with it.
It's indiscipline.
Yeah. So just think about your communication to the team and to the crowd and to the team of the signal for what it was for. We didn't recall seeing the signal. That's all. So it's something very minor, but it does help in that communication. Well done to you on today. Thank you for allowing me to come in.
I apologise for not signalling.
Oh, you don't have to apologise.
But thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks for the feedback.
Thanks for what you do for the rugby union.
Absolutely, and now rest up and do your recovery for the next one.
Oh, I'm going to do the next one.
Are you running AR?
No, he's doing it.
It's like a bit of I'm trying to picture what this is like in real life. You're just sitting and listening. Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Okay. Heavy?
Yeah. We were pretty good. Close game, so.
Close out?
13-10. Final score to CBC, so good.
Okay. Now, what do you think in your transition with what you were saying pre-game? How do you think that went for you?
I thought it went pretty good. I was definitely thinking about it the whole game, just trying to get that timing right, and definitely helped me a lot managing those offsides. And they feel quite often offside, so helped definitely to be able to see that. I think there was definitely good few that were too early or a little bit too late, but the majority of them were good timing, I think, in my opinion. Helped me to be able to see everything. So.
Okay. Did you feel, I want your feedback on this now, okay? Do you feel that when you went into your transition into your secondary, do you think you stayed there too long?
Yeah, probably on a couple. Just yeah, probably I found myself a little bit late to some of the rucks. So I need to think for my next games, my next work on will be still that timing, but then once I've made that move, just getting ready to go straight to the next ruck, because I did miss out on a couple of, you know, insides or something like that on a couple of those.
Because if you lose sight of the ball, do you think you're still standing in the same right position? And that's what happened on a few occasions today.
Yeah.
And your feet are flat on the ground.
Yeah.
And once your feet are flat on the ground, it takes a while for you to rethink, to change back again.
Yeah.
Because you've got to remember, you can use your jockey position as well.
Yeah.
Okay, you use your jockey position once today in the first half, and it worked brilliantly for you. Because as you got there, you went with the flow of the ball.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see you turn around and see the transitioning like you're doing all the time. Vary your position at the breakdown. Get there, because when you're looking at the jockey, you can look with the offside line in front of you both ways.
Yeah.
Okay. When you're going like this and you're transitioning, you're not tending to look on the outside shoulder.
Okay.
And then by the time you are looking, you will then really finding the players are offside and in fact the ball's out. But because you've got sight of the ball, those players are actually onside. Okay. So if you went to the jockey, transition back, a couple of steps in, and you're touching the halfback's butt. Okay. Then you can go with the flow. You can look at the offside line, and if they're marginally offside at the breakdown, you can then talk to them by pushing them back. Okay. I'd like to see you more vocal at the breakdowns, because it seemed to be from where I'm looking that you were rather reactive than proactive.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm not too sure if you know how many penalties were in the game.
Yeah, too many.
How many?
Too many.
Too many. Now how do you think you could have changed that thing? The pattern of it?
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think it only needs one or two words. It only needs to be roll away, tackle and release, and that's all you need.
Yep.
And then you're going to get the team turning around and conforming to you because they know you're there.
Yep.
If they don't know you're there, they're going to cheat. And of course you picked up most of the penalties, and you did have a high penalty count.
Yeah.
Because of that reason.
Yep.
So get used to, if you can, one or two words. That's all it takes. You're fit, you get there. All you need to do then is your man management skills and your style. Okay? Can I ask you a couple of questions? That's it about, I don't know, you want to talk about anything about the transition?
I think maybe just on the line out.
Yeah, well, we were just going to the line out now, yeah. Just, can I ask you two things about the line out? You only had two positions at the line out. One of them is at the front, and the other one is straight down the middle, 20 metres at the back. Any reason for that? Any reason for those positions?
I just find it easiest to only ones where they've been taught.
Okay, because you're not going to go much taller.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you go up and you're refereeing, you're saying the referee me. If you're standing at the front of the line, you're going to miss a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so where I like you to stand is around about 6 or 7. So then you've got the back line standing out in front of you, and you can watch the back line from there advancing. So on the front, you're running around the back of the line now. Okay, and then you've got to pass all those forwards.
Okay,
so you're going to go from the front, shoot around to the opposite side. So you're running in line with the ball.
Okay.
You understand what I'm?
Yeah, kind of. So you mean like kind of where like the halfback is standing, that kind of position?
Well, the halfbacks are normally there. There's the line out there. I'd like to see you there. Okay, because then you've got the back line standing out there. Okay, when you're standing out here, you're looking down the front of the line out there, but you're still not seeing anything what the two back lines are doing.
Yeah.
Because you're only facing one direction.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah. But if you're standing here, then you've got the whole field in front of you. If you're standing here and the ball's tapped off there, shoot this way. By the time you get there, the ball from the back line is running in line with you.
Okay.
Otherwise, and you're fit, don't get me wrong. If you're going this way, you're chasing the ball. Okay? You go that way, the ball's coming to you, and you're going to be running in line with the ball.
Okay, cool.
Okay?
Sweet.
So just tweaking it more than...
Yeah, I might try that.
That's all it is. Just try it.
Yeah, I haven't tried
But
that before, so.
I wouldn't like to see it at all standing 20 metres down the field. I don't want to. I wouldn't like to see you do that again.
Okay.
I mean, it's you're doing something for no reason at all.
Right.
Okay, it's just tweaking your game.
Bryce's talk the other day was a very good example of that. You're not going to see much there.
Yeah.
All you're going to see is how straight the ball is.
I mean, it's like a scrum. If the ball feeds, it goes crooked, you're not going to do a free kick. You're just going to play it on because two teams get the ball in and get the ball out. I want to compliment you on your advantage. I think you played a great advantage today. 3 tries were scored today through your advantage. Penalty advantages I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You played 3 good penalty advantages and they all ended up in tries. Okay? So, yeah, that's all I've got to say.
Awesome.
So, yeah, carry on with that. Okay? Just tweaking, that's all it is.
Yeah.
Talking, breakdown. Line-outs, see 6 or 7 at the line-out, and then if you're going to the front, before the guy throws the ball in, then go to 6 or 7.
Okay.
Start there, move to 6 or 7. You don't have to start at the front everywhere. Okay? You win well.
Awesome.
Okay?
Just on that advantage, I agree about the advantage. Just the one advantage, watch that advantage when it's you're defending on your line. You don't want advantage.
Yeah.
Are you with me? There was the first half. There was they were under attack, and the defending team don't want advantage. They just want to take that ball and kick it, or get a scrum and kick the ball in. So don't play advantage for the defending team. Attacking team, no problem, but the defending team don't want advantage. What they're going to do with it?
He's talking about that incident with Curragh that a guy got hit hard in the sack, and he shouldn't have had to do that.
Yeah.
It should have been a penalty back then. Yeah.
So just what would you like as a player? You want a quick advantage, get it over with.
Yeah.
It's a different story where they actually were attacking and wanted to. You understand what we were talking about there?
Yeah.
So think of yourself as that halfback getting the ball.
Yeah.
What you're giving him more pressure rather than taking pressure away.
Well done,
Sure, well done.
Yeah.
That's fine. I don't think he understands that the line out isn't over till everyone moves off that line. Yeah, so I penalise him down there, but I'm just going to word to him about it, say, look, just, just oblivious of it, or whether he just, he keeps coming forward as soon as the ball's in the hands of them.
Yeah. Well, I did notice there was a line out on the 10-metre line, and you did a really good job. Your secondary signal of pushing those players was really good. And you could see that the players were actually responding to you.
Yeah. So it's. I guess it's. I know at college level you're sort of giving them that opportunity to say, hey, look, you can't come forward. Hold out, give them the chance. I think I yelled it out 3 times and didn't decide to penalise them. But just there, I just said to them, like, you can't come forward until they move forward.
So, what are some of the things that aren't going so well?
So I just
Yeah. I mean, I've noticed it also with the guy at the front who's going like this at the front, like this.
at the front of the line.
Right. Maybe just look out for that.
Yeah.
Because they're impeding the ball being thrown. Right?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's...
That was my...
Where am I?
Yeah.
North to south. Not too bad actually. It's probably like northwest to...
Starting to square up a little? Yeah.
But such as water. It's always a worthwhile name.
Yeah.
What I did notice, what was great, is that when you were pushing those players back, they stay outside, you actually used them. So they, a lot of risk pushing back, but they're actually getting at the ball.
Yeah.
They go like this.
Yeah. So it's the outside ones that got, these guys are all good. Once you got them here, it's when the line suddenly goes that way. So the yellow line at the offside line. So you look at it, and that's what I'm trying to do. Everyone inside now. But the ball's already been one in here. So I tend to obviously take your eye off the ball. But then once it's one, I feel that okay, the ball's been won by this team. Okay, now it's holding this by the outside. Yeah. But it's I mean, just
Keep doing what you're doing.
But I mean, obviously, no, it's good. I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
Very good. Have fun.
Yes.
Observation, if you don't mind. Right, Jerry? Come on. Thanks for that list, don't you?
So carry on.
One thing I picked up, referee coaches can see everything. We like to see everything that the ref, what they're doing well, a lot of the time what they're not doing well. And that's the same as any coach. Like we're coaching a team and we'll see your things that the team are doing well, and you see the coach out here and they'll have a list of 15 things. So the challenge is how do we prioritise that stuff and collate it so we don't give them too much feedback. Have you guys seen this sort of, I'm just trying to scratch that here. It's like a diagram which is impact versus ease of implementation. So if it's going to have a high impact on its performance or low impact, so let's say for example that example out there, JD, which is about urgency to breakdown, where do you reckon impacts would be as far as low impact, high impact? If he was to, how or important so it should be?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's, I should change it, I'll change it to importance, I'll change it to importance. How important is urgency to breakdown?
Oh, I think it's high.
Okay, so it's up here somewhere.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
How easy is it to implement? Real easy versus hard. So this is hard, it's really hard to get better at it versus easy. So it's really highly important, how easy to implement. To do.
It should be easy.
Okay, so urgency to breakdown sits up here, which is a critical thing that referees get right. Sweet. What would be communication to players, like the softer skills of communication, etc.? What would that look like? How important is it? Very important. How easy is it to do?
Easy.
You reckon?
Yeah.
The soft
It only needs to be one word.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how long does it take for them to learn that?
Skill.
That skill?
Yeah.
Well, it should come in with the position.
Yeah, but you guys have got all that knowledge. If you've got someone starting off, how quickly can they learn that when they may be refereeing people older than them, or and develop, because we're told to respect our elders and they've got to try and develop these man management skills talking to them. I would think it's quite hard. But that's from the person looking from the outside. So challenge me. I feel like you want to challenge me.
It's hand in hand. You get into the position where you just say one word roll, and that one word roll could mean a hell of a lot where you've got a proactive game, a free flowing game.
Okay, so how many are doing it? How many referees are doing that as well?
How many
referees are good at that communication?
Probably 80%.
Okay, so pretty good.
Yep.
Super.
I think it's easy once you know. It's hard to learn. But when you say the percentage, you're looking at the higher percentage. You're looking at 1 or 2. I expect that they will be doing.
And that's why they're there, right? These guys aren't going to want to do it.
No.
What I'm trying to get you to the point is, on your list of things, this is like a framework to how you're going to plot everything. If things sit up there, that's where you go first. If it's really hard to impact on the ref, and it's not that important, and it's really hard to, it's a long term thing, it's not important just a minute.
We've got building blocks. And also we start off with raw knowledge, then it's position, vision and timing, and then it's the contact and instruction in at the top, game management. So we're trying to get umpire coaches to look at, you deal with those building blocks at the base, they're going to have to make the biggest difference. You know, because people go straight to game management. No, we want you to issue cautions, we want you to do this, but if they aren't consistent in their application of the rules, there's no point in delivering game management because the players are going to be really pissed off.
It's a good conversation. I think it's to see everything and to create what's the critical stuff, what's the biggest impact. And if there's feedback half time, that's could they actually implement it? So Pete, for example, you were going to go there with the ref, but you decided not to.
At half time.
Yeah, talk about that.
Just one of the work-ons was offside backlines. And I touched on the subject and he thought things were going well. I'm not going to expand on this because he's got the second half to go. Didn't want to fog his mind.
Sometimes confidence, and he had some confidence, and sometimes confidence can breed confidence. So he might even grow more in the second half. He did well not to go there.
It's a hard thing not to say stuff.
Because you only bring up one thing at half time. If they are not sure on the ball.
He came to us because he felt alone out there because he didn't have any support. He said, I've come over to see some people that I know. Because the team was in their huddle. So we weren't quite sure what he was coming for other than to have a chat to us.
And Sean, boost as well. Sean was happy. He didn't come to see me at all. So he just stayed in his little bubble with his AR.
He had some ARs, whereas never had yet.
This other thing too is around some of the stuff they're doing here is effort related and some of it's technical, and if it's effort related it's quite easy to you can control it. Sometimes it's a technical thing that's not. Anyway, recap was all the great stuff you got in your head, somehow come up with a way to streamline it and prioritise it so they don't feel bloody over cluttered. And because I was sitting in the back and what do we ref there, bro? All we do is all we're seeing is the things I'm not doing well. And the game's not, you just look back from a spectator, the games are going really well. The kids are having a great time, the players are,
that's amazing.
You know, there's no like niggle from the sideline, so there must be something alright. Look at the team.
Beautiful morning, what's up to like about it?
What's happening after the game, John?